Hello everybody and welcome to Satisfactory. Today's going to be a little different video for those who have been watching this series for a little bit, because I mean it's been what, 6 episodes? Today it's going to be a short one, surprisingly. And the reason for that is it is factory tour time. That is right, factory tour. I plan on doing this like as I progress through the game, just to give people who been following along just what I've been doing in my playthrough, and see if you want to replicate anything for yours. So we'll start off at a simple spot. This is where the hub is, and where I guess my main area for space elevator parts are going to be created. Now, right now it's somewhat messy because I've only been creating one space elevator part, which is, I believe, the engines. I believe these are the engines that are needed. Yes, the modular engines. And I will bring them over to the space elevator. Now, that is a reveal for today's video, because for those who've been watching, you guys know that used to be right here, but it's no longer there. Why is that? I'll explain to you once I get over there, and you see a little sneak peek of what I've been doing. So this area right now is just being used up for, yes, minor stuff, really. I mean, this is Versatile Frameworks, which has also been made extremely easy. That was previous space elevator part, but yeah, these are the only two areas. This is the main platform, as I've said before. I plan on having this be like a central area for my hypertube cannons, and getting those all hooked up in the places where they need to be. So I spawn here, clearly, we've got the hub, and from here I just make my way out. So back here we have the equipment area. It's out of the way, so it's just quick easy access. Right now I'm just getting more tickets because, again, over there. Let's head over to a important area that I worked on recently. That was a mega project, and that I did in one episode, actually. So let's head over there. Right. Okay. So we are at the Sulfur Area. Oh my God, that scared me. Why does this always happen? Okay. We are at the Sulfur Area, which brings over there, brings forth, I should say, everything over here. We got a little power. I hope that guy doesn't follow me the entire time. That suck. But this took me, I would say, a vast majority of my playthrough time, outside of just exploring the world and getting Mercer spheres and things, because, you know, power. A new addition that I've been doing off camera recently is adding more power banks to this area, because I have a plan for the future that I will not share, but, you know, we store a lot once it fills up. Very inefficient here, only because they're all overclocked. If they weren't overclocked, it would be working. Okay, but I kind of built this on the premise of not overclocking anything, and then proceeded to overclock that. So that's where that is. I need better belts, which is the push for the elevator, which is what I'm working on right now, and that's going to be the end of the video. Not now, but you know what I'm talking about. So this whole area is a turbo plant slash, you know, power plant factory thingamabob. We generate a lot of this. Besides that, I think it was like 21,000, but with the augmenters, we generate a lot. That's the whole point of that platform over there. And there's little Easter eggs here and there. I was on a call with a friend as I built this, and we put every little minor imperfection in the spotlight and just wouldn't talk about it. So that single thing, yeah, now you know what that is. And then we also have a small one here. I try to make everything not clip, and then proceeded to have this ever so slightly clip into the wall. So I went through and I've added all of these underneath, which was a thing that I didn't do before. And I added railing across pretty much everything as well to make it safe. And just a little more decoration here and there. We of course have the whole turbo area where all the turbo fuel is being made, packaged, and stored away. Now you'll see that I have kept a creature here, and for those who remember, his name is Harold. Literally, Harold. So he's been here since the start, and I kind of don't want to get rid of him because you know we have bonds. We bond together. I take plasma balls to the face, and he just lives, I guess, whatever. We have our areas that are producing the heavy oil residue, which is all of this, and that is being brought over there to create turbo fuel with a mixture of compact coal, I believe, which is what the barn over there creates. Over here we have our plastic area. Now, I could have chosen the recipe that gives us more heavy oil residue and given us the whatever it's called, the blue thing that you can make plastic, resin, I think is what it's called. Yeah, polymer resin. But I decided on doing plastic because this would bring over a factory that I have not shown because I was going to, and then I just never built upon it. But, you know, we have a lot of plastic, so much, in fact, that it's just immediately going away into here, and it's working, it's producing us a lot. So let's head over to the central hub of this whole area. The place that looks absolutely out of place and ugly, because I'm still working on it. I'm still working on the structural design of everything. Because let me tell you, that's not going to cut it. I've added those from what you last saw, I believe, but that's not going to cut it. So this is what I call the bigger barn. It's not big, in fact. Like height-wise, yeah, maybe. But lengthwise, it's nothing. And over here we have the power augmenters. Now in total there are 5 in my world, which is what's giving us the insane boost. But these are, of course, under this terrible platform that I've been working on, and it's going great. I would say it's a lot better than what it was before. We have, of course, the hypertube cannon, and we have the stats. You know, 630 heavy oil residue a minute with 690 a minute turbo fuel, and 2,550 crude oil. And of course, that's just pure decoration. Yes, I know they're out of place. They're on purpose. Okay, that's there on purpose. And in total, we produce 21,000 megawatts. Yes, 21,000 megawatts. I thought I read that wrong. Which is having all of those activated and having all the heavy oil residue. Now, this brings forth the turbo fuel, I forgot what it was called, to just grab if we want. And then, of course, we need to get here without flying, so we have the bridge. And you get a nice little view of the dam that I've built over there with this disgusting flying thing, but we're just not going to talk about it. That's not important to us, and it never will be important to us. So let's head over to the power plant before this. So this is the power plant that started it all. That wasn't there before. That's new. This whole area, I believe, was created episode 2 or 1. As you can tell, they're Mark 3. I went through and upgraded everything. I can't remember. I think they were like this before. But we have this entire coal setup with a lot, actually. 8, just a lot. Okay, I think there's like maybe 20, 23 or something. Maybe. I don't know how to count. But this would produce like 8,000, not even, less than that. And what needed to happen was a greater power plant, which is the turbo plant area. And that's what allows us to build pretty much anything we need to now, because our production is just out. It's just amazing. So we just have a simple setup. This used to be colored, but I upgraded them, and now it's not colored. So let's head over to the area where I'm producing plastic and rubber. So in order to have a relatively good start, you need to have an area that will produce you both plastic and rubber for the future. And this brings us to Oil Coast. Now, it's not as efficient per se as my turbo factory, as you can tell by the very slow moving belts with little to no plastic, because all of these are just powered by a single oil extractor, overclocked literally once. And so it brings forth, ever so slowly what we need. So this whole area is not really made to be coming back to a lot. If I need a lot of these resources, I just take them from here. Even then, they're hooked up to here, so I just can yoink them from the cloud. And same thing with rubber. Same thing over here, as you can tell. And over here, I set up a temporary thing, which I don't think I've shown in videos yet. Would be the first. This is a very ugly setup for biofuel, packaged biofuel. Now, I haven't used it in a video, I don't believe, but we have a small, somewhat automated process where I just harvest leaves or wood, chuck them in there, change the recipe, and they just flow through, make whatever we need for biofuel. I can't remember, so yeah. Over here, we have our regular fuel, which I have not touched in ages, thanks to turbo fuel. And we have more power plants to get rid of the excess heavy oil residue, and just, of course, just keep the whole process flowing. So we have quite a few, like 16 power plants. And, it works, it generates us more power, that's the whole point. But now, to top off the two last things that I haven't talked about, one is a mega project and one is something I'd be working on as we progress through this series. So unless I'm tripping, or I've shown it in a video, I can't quite remember, this is Plastic Works. I could have sworn I showed it in a video, but I haven't shown all of what's happened. I think the last thing I showed of this area was it bare bones with like 2 machines or something, not even. So this is where we're taking all of our plastic by train, as you should have seen earlier, and we're offloading it into, of course, these massive storage containers that bring it all the way up here and into the factory. Now, I tried to at first keep it nice and neat, but it kind of derailed because it didn't line up, and just fitting in these just as well, just to make sure I can yoink them, didn't really work. So it's somewhat organized, but not, unfortunately. But this is using up a lot of our plastic and a lot of the resources around here because, they're just sitting here and they need to be used. So we have Caterium coming from this very ugly item elevator all the way through there. I believe I showed my design process of the bridges, which I used on the complete opposite side, bringing them all the way over here. And this is how we are producing, I believe this is the adaptive control. Nope, that's computers, my bad. This is the adaptive control unit, which I only need 100 of, and we're almost there. This has been running for quite some time. But, this whole thing is going to look ugly, and I still need to fill in, well, the entire floor right here, not underneath there. I want to keep that clear. And, it's kind of spaghetti outside. I try to keep everything nice and organized, but, it didn't quite end well with just random heights and just levels and stuff. This is creating our automated wire, which is used for the adaptive control unit. It's not overclocked, even though it really should be. But this is just out of the way. Everything is colored blue. Those aren't connected to anything. Everything is colored blue for the Plastic Works area, because I colored all of the machines over there blue and red for just color coding. We all know this is going to Plastic Works. And this is, without spoiling much, this is the extent of it. It just kind of travels all the way over here. We are producing heavy modular frames, of course, without screws, because I hate screws. Everybody in this game hates screws. And we have some things to work with. Of course, my beautiful bridges that I've created. It's nighttime. It's why so dark. I couldn't grab ladder. And these just, just expand going this way, grabbing resources and dragging them through. I just spoil a whole lot. Whoops, my bad. And this, of course, just keeps on going. A little sneak peek of that, just to grab more iron. Bring it the pipes forth into what we need over here. Is more concrete being produced. Wildlife. But now the final thing, which you can all see, is the space elevator location. Now, it's very, very simple right now. It's in its infancy, if you will. I need to add small decorations like buildings. I plan on having like trucks and stuff going around it for decoration. But this is the small area, and I want to have every building have its own functionality. So the platform, which is what the space elevator sits on, is only accessible by tubes. Very slow tubes, in fact, but I think it's cool because it gets you to think about what's happening around it. So we have the science area, which I still need to build a small little thing. I plan on putting the MAM here, or another thing of the MAM here, just for decoration. Over there, I want to use a water tower, so I need to bring water over there. Then this ugly building over here is what I call the observatory. Now, this is only going to be used for just getting good view angles. Getting good view angles of this space elevator itself. Now I have easy access through the roof and an interesting architectural design of rain collecting. We like to collect rain here. So we're just not going to talk about that because it would all just flow out here and ruin everything out there. But you'll notice a lot of these are empty because we don't have statues. Now the last one, which should be right here, is going to be the golden nut. That one is going to be a trophy in itself, and it's going to take forever. So, a little design choice that I've made for this building is this down here. Now, it's wigging out because I have DLSS on to make the game run better because this game is very demanding. But I taken massive billboards and just taken the purple color, bringing it all the way down to make it seem like it's powering this machine. And over here it's just a little lore type thing, fun lore. We have an augmenter over here, and we're somewhat researching it, if you will, just making this area more lively. And underneath here we have a bunch of power banks here, just purely for decoration, but I mean they're in use, of course. But I want to make it seem like this building is somewhat powering the space elevator, and that's why we have this and those beneath there. Now there's nothing inside here, and I want to put something there, but I'm not quite sure just yet. But this is the extent of the platform, is what I call it. It's got a nice view of the Plastic Works factory. You get the top view and all of the spaghetti mess. And the cool thing about this is, did I leave a Sommer sloop? That would be embarrassing if I left a Sommer sloop there. The cool thing about this is this cannon right here, you almost hit your body on the tower. I'm not gonna move. My hands are off the keyboard. And you almost hit the tower right next to it. But it brings you onto the sky ray. If you manage to land there. So this is the small little tour. It wasn't anything big because I haven't done anything big in this world besides the mega factory over there. And I'm kind of proud of it. We're a couple hours into the game. We're 75 hours in. And it's looking pretty good. I'm only just now working on the space elevator phase 3 part. So that should start the next part of the series, is me working on the space elevator. How close can I get? Okay. So I hope you enjoyed. Please, if you do like this series and you've been watching for a while, consider subscribing, because let me tell you, those numbers compared to my subscriber count, something's off. I'm just gonna say it. If you enjoyed, and you clearly do because you're watching the video, subscribe, leave a like, because I just punched my mic. You're gonna get a lot of that. That's why. That's because. So, have a good rest of your day, and goodbye.